Good morning, class. Today we're going to be talking about what summarizing is. So let's think about what we already have learned about summarizing. And we've learned some important things about summarizing throughout the year. So what I want you to do first is turn and talk to one of your partners about what you think summarizing is. I'm going to give you a minute to do that, okay? Okay, now let's come back together as a class and talk about what summarizing is. So summarizing is pretty much just wrapping up the story or passage we just read into a more condensed version of the story, but we want to include a lot of important details in this. So what we want to include in this summary is we want to include the main character or characters, we want to include the main idea of the story, the setting, the resolution to the story, the problem that the characters may have faced. There's a lot of important aspects we want to include whenever we're doing a summary of a story we've read. So today what we're going to talk about is a method that I have to help you with that. In this method you use different letters. So it's going to be somebody, wanted, but, so, then. And we're going to go through which each of these letters means. So somebody, let's start with the S, somebody. So we want to think, who is the someone in the story that we're going to be describing? The W, wanted. What were the characters doing in the story? But. We want to think, but, maybe what happened in the story, what was the problem in the story? So, let's think about so. What did the characters do to overcome the struggle in the story? And then we want to think, what was the resolution to the story, or what was the outcome to the story? We want to include all of these things in our summary. And with this strategy, we can also count these in our hands. So we've got somebody, the S, wanted, the W, but, the B, so, the S, and then T is the then. And we can always think of our hand whenever we're doing our summary because we can include these important aspects and think about them on our fingers, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you all this handout, and it is a handout on the somebody wanted, but, so, then, and I'm going to let you all split into small groups and work on this. But before we do this, we're going to look at a story, and we're going to think aloud through the story and be thinking about these important aspects as we're reading the story, okay? So first, let's look at this picture book here. And this picture book is Penny and Pup. And this is by Linda Jennings. And it's illustrated. So we know illustrated means who drew the pictures. And that is Jane Chapman. Okay, so we read this story as a class. That's what we're going to be doing. But I'm going to kind of go through and give a little gist of what we just read, okay? So, Penny loves her friend Pup to bits. So let's be thinking right now that they've already given us some characters, right? So who are those characters? Let's talk about that. Okay, good. We have Penny and Pup. That's going to be two of the characters that are important to the story. And it says, Pup is all squashy and floppy, and he lives in Penny's basket. Penny doesn't think she needs any other friends besides Pup. And when Henry the cat or Matt the fox cub ask her to play, she tells them she'd rather be with Pup. So there, right there, that's some more somebodies. So we have Henry that just came into the story and Matt the cub, okay? So one day Pup gets lost. What will Penny do without him? So our but, we're thinking there's a problem there because Penny only wants to be friends with Pup, but here it says Pup gets lost. So that could be one problem to the story, okay? So let's be thinking about that. And it says, what will Penny do without him? And what will Pup do without her? It takes a little help from the other animals for Penny to realize that she may need more than just Pup for a friend. Okay, so we've been presented now with the characters to the story. We've been presented with the problem that the characters may face. And then it says here, there's a resolution because the other animals help Penny realize that she has to have more than just Pup for a friend. So, with all that being said, we've got all the elements that we need in our summary by using our chart. So we've got our somebody, we've got what wanted, so Penny, she wanted to just be friends with Pup. The problem is that Pup gets lost. One of the resolutions is that the other animals help her realize that she has to have more than just Pup for a friend. And so the resolution is that Penny may be friends with all the other animals after she realizes this important lesson, right? So what I'm going to let you do, we've read this aloud as a class, and you all have a copy of this book, and you're going to go through it in your small groups. So you're going to split up in your small groups, and you're going to use this chart here, and you're going to fill this chart out in your small groups, okay? And as you're filling this out, you're going to refer back to the story we just read, and you're going to want to make sure you hit all of these elements. And then when you're done filling out this chart, you're going to write a paragraph summary. So what's a paragraph? Let's think about that. What do we include in our paragraph? How many sentences is that? 5. Good. So 5 sentences in your paragraph, you're going to write that summary. And you want it to be really good and strong, so you're going to include all of these important aspects, okay? And then when you're done with that, I'm going to read over your summaries and see how you did, and I'm going to be working with you with it. So if you need help in your small groups, you're going to raise your hand, and I'll come over and help you all, okay? And then once I've checked all of your summaries, all of your one paragraph summaries, I'm going to give you an exit ticket at the end of class. And on that exit ticket, I want you to write down on there everything that you've learned about summarizing today. And we've learned a lot about summaries today. So on that exit ticket, I want you to include at least, let's say, 3 good points that you've learned about summarizing today. And I think you could even include more than that. So let's think really hard on our exit ticket and put everything that you've learned about this strategy today and everything you can know about summarizing. So one more time, let's think. This is what we're doing. Let's remember our hand, okay? Somebody, wanted, but, so, and then, okay? So let's do good on this, and let's write a good, strong summary, okay?